Let's go to Patrick in Jeffersonville. Moving on up. What's up, Patrick?
Good morning, Dr. John. How are you?
Excellent. What's up?
I came to a bit of a estimation that I'm starting to lose my 5-year-old son a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out how I can do a course correction before it gets too late and, it's just completely broken between us.
What is helping you arrive at that conclusion?
A little bit of the backstory where I think it all started, starting in 2019 till just a couple weeks ago. I was in, kind of an off again, on again affair. And during that time that I would have communication with the affair partner, I would throw everything to the wind. I would even kind of push him back. And
Are you married?
Because of that, I feel like, yes.
So you had a 3-year affair. How long have you been married?
For it'll be 7 years.
Okay, so for 3 of the 7 years, you were cheating on your wife?
Yeah.
Okay, and 3 of his 5 years, this little boy's 5 years?
Yeah.
And my guess is before you started having an affair, your marriage kind of sucked then too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we wasn't in the best of places.
So your marriage kind of sucked too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the kid was born into a house of chaos or a house of tension, let me put it that way. And then you did something to relieve your tension. You didn't like who you were becoming in this relationship, and you found somebody else for 3 years. Did your wife know about this affair?
Not in the beginning. When it first started, it took a couple of months before it was exposed to her.
And then she was just dope with it happening for 2 more years?
No, that's another issue that we've been having, and he's been wrapped up in all of that.
Hold on. What's that issue?
Me not being faithful and not coming to her with the issues that I was having, and instead seeking out this other person.
Okay, let me back that thing up. And okay, let me try to get this all the way in. So you get married, a couple of years in, you meet somebody else, or you already knew somebody else. You have an affair for a few. Is that right?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
You have an affair for a few months. Your wife finds out. She either busts you or you told her. And then you get it all out. She decides to stay with you. And then you decide to keep having this affair in secret for 2.5 more years. And she would find out every once in a while or something like that?
Yeah, there would be, just slip-ups on my part to where I'd get careless and she would see the message on my phone or...
Bro, what's the matter with you, dude? What do you mean you got careless?
And that's what I'm trying to work. I've got another personal therapist that I speak with, and I'm trying to work that out too, because to myself, I've been living a giant lie for the last 3 years, and
dude, you've been living a lie for way longer than 3 years. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
fair. You didn't screw up or slip up. I mean, I guess you did if you're like talking to a group of dudes who cheat on their wives. You're like, oh, I screwed up. I got busted. Man. And she stuck with you through all of this?
Yeah. I mean, she's a sweetheart. She is.
No, she's a doormat. She is not a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's how I've treated her. And
she is a doormat who is in desperate need of being able to look in the mirror and say, I'm worth way the hell more than this. And here's the deal. I get it. I get the screw up. I get the weekend. Like, oh my gosh. I get you spend a lot of time with somebody you work with and they end up becoming your best friend. I get all of that. Just thumbing your nose at your wife's face for 3 years, man. That's tough. Just guy to guy. That's tough, man. Because that's just pissing on your wife, dude. That's just not cool.
And it's been tearing at me for, that long. And even knowing that I knew it was wrong and that I shouldn't be doing it, there was just that that euphoria, the high of when I would have that connection with the other person, and then you would come down on the other side, and it's just like, my goodness, this was not worth it. We need to stop.
Bro, you're not there yet, man. You're not there yet. So yes, if your kid is anxious, if your kid is struggling with hyperactivity, if your kid is struggling with focus, 1000% yes. He's right where he should be. There's not a one damn thing wrong with him. Because he is living in a house of lies, and he's living in a house of disconnection, and he's living with a mom who is desperately hanging on to somebody who thinks about it as much of her as he does the dog crap he picks up in the backyard. And he's living with a dad who's a habitual liar. And that little boy is anchored into connection. He's just anchored into, he's untethered. He's a kite in the wind, and there's no string.
And I agree with that. And I see that from him because, like you said, whenever, we try to talk, his mom and I, he starts acting crazy. Not crazy as in like lunatic, but jumping on the couch or buttoning or trying to steal our attention back to him. Kind of like he's the mediator trying to de-escalate the situation.
Because he's been the mediator trying to de-escalate the situation for 5 freaking years. Fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just doing his job. That's the job y'all gave him. Because no one else is being an adult in that house. Are you still having an affair now?
No. I came totally clean with her the last week or second to last week of September. I laid everything that was going on out there. And
how long has it been since you've been with this other person?
The first week of September was the last time I seen that person.
So for those of you, we record these several weeks ahead. So it's been about a month. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not done having an affair yet, brother. Because that high feeling is every bit as... It's about you feeling alive, dude. And you have a wife and a kid. And it's easy to get dead-eyed real fast and life to get real boring real fast. And you don't like who you become when you're dead-eyed and bored. And this other person makes you feel alive because she doesn't have to live with you and you don't have to live with her. And you can play fantasy for 2.5 hours.
And that's why I'm trying to get more intentional with it. In the beginning, I wasn't.
I didn't. You don't try to get intentional with this. You never freaking talk to her again, ever. Ever. You delete her from everything. You throw your phone in the toilet.
That's basically what I did. I'm off social media. In the beginning, I wouldn't give my wife my phone. She has complete and total access to my phone. I have the accounts, but she has the passwords. I don't log into them. The apps are not on my phone for me to log into them. And I'm taking more of the steps forward that I didn't take in the beginning, to where I was more bullish and stubborn. And
this is about you saying, I'm giving up my power because you've got power over her. And it feels good to have power over somebody finally in your life. And it's about you taking a knee. So good for you, man. You've given up your cell phone passcodes. Cool. I've talked to too many guys who cheated on their wives. And when they're ready to stop cheating, there is a totally different way that they come across. There's a totally different ethos. I don't hear it on you. It may be if you and I were hanging out, man. I don't want to judge you just by the tone of your voice, man, because I can't even see you. But this isn't something you just kind of figure out. You just kind of working on it. It is scorched earth, man. This is falling down on your face in front of your wife and saying, I failed you. Oh, and not only that, I failed you. I broke your heart. And then I took your heart and I just rubbed it in the dirt and stomped on it because you were too much of a chump to leave me. And here's the thing when it comes to your son, dude, you can't say anything. Your words simply do not matter to him. One thing will matter to him, and that is action.
Okay.
He is watching everything you do. And if you walk into that home and you're an agent of peace, the house gets more warm when you show up. and you walk right past him, or his arms are outstretched and you walk right past him, and you go grab his mother gently by the face, and you look her in the eyes and say, I love you, and every day of the rest of my life is dedicated to meeting your needs. I will find my aliveness through reinvigorating our love. And then you hug her for 15 to 30 seconds every day before you even acknowledge that kid. Then over time, 60, 90, 120 days, a year later, when he sees y'all together, his body will begin to say, that's right, not that's war, which is what his body says now.
Okay.
And then if you commit to never taking your cell phone out of your car when you get home so that you are fully present. And by the way, if you're like me, it's awkward. I don't know what to do, man. When I'm just sitting there with two little kids and my wife, I don't know what to do. My body starts rattling a little bit. So I got to have a set of practices. Sometimes I have to change my environment. I got to go get on the floor and play with my kids. I got a wrestling mat upstairs. I go wrestle with my kids. I got to do a puzzle that I've done 100,000 times. I got to do it again. Right? Being a parent sometimes is super boring. And my life isn't just about me being entertained. It's about being with, not over, with. And every day of your life, you got to wake up and address your wife in public, in your living room or in your kitchen, and say, how can I best love you today? What does today look like for us? And she might say, get out, go to work. And you'll go, great. I'm going to go have a great day at work. And she might say, I just need you to sit by me and not say anything. Can we just have coffee? And you say no words, and you'll say, yep, absolutely. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
That's why I don't think you're here. I don't think you're there yet, because you're talking about completely cashing in your entire MO, which is, I know something you don't know. I've got power over you, and I can do whatever the hell I want, whenever I want, because you ain't going nowhere.
And that's something that I've been working with my therapist, and something that I don't like about myself. And I can't stand, I mean, when I hold on to that, and I know that, these last 3 years that she hasn't went anywhere. So I've been able to just, do whatever I want. I had the keys to the car and I was driving it. And I don't want to live like that. I don't want to treat my wife that way. I don't want to raise my children in that type of environment. I want to be the best me that I can be for them and for her. So it's not total chaos, and it's not tension and stressful to where we're bickering and we're arguing or just not talking like we're roommates and like we're still madly in love like we were when we were teenagers.
You're not going to be madly in love like you were when you were teenagers. You're not. The sex in your marriage at year 10 will be infinitely better than it was year 1. And the sex in your marriage in year 15 and 20 will be infinitely better than it was in year 1. What you don't have is perspective on that yet. Madly in love, like, I'm going to blow off class and I'm going to skip school and I'm going to go put a bunch of crap on the credit card that goes away. And then you build something infinitely more structurally sound. But if you keep chasing madly in love, dude, your marriage is going to end up in ash and you're going to burn those kids to the ground. You have to chase something bigger than that, something deeper than that. And that, my friend, is love. And I would be willing to bet you don't even know what that looks like. You'd never see it. Your parents didn't show you. Your old man didn't show you. And I honor that, dude. It's a set of skills that you don't. I'm asking you to mow a yard and you've never seen a lawnmower. You've never seen grass. Okay. That's your mission, is to figure that out. What love looks like. As the great poet Stephen Connell says, love is a promise that comes what comes, I will be right here. And you've got to learn that. And all of your figuring out language, dude, enough with that. You do need to figure out some skills, no question. I'm glad you're working with a counselor. You do need to figure out at some point where you learned this, that people are worth being treated that way. But all this, I'm trying to learn it. No, never raise your voice again in your home. Whenever you start to get into an argument with your wife, put both hands up and stop it and say, hey, I love you too much to continue down this road. And we've been down this road and we know where it leads. So I'm not going to fight you. Let's circle back in 30 minutes. Okay. Whenever she says, hey, you make me feel like, you don't butt in with your, you say, I'm so sorry. How can I help make this right? And you can say whatever you want to that little boy. If you want him back, treat his mom right. You want him back, be present with him. You want him back, tell the truth. You want him back, invite him into a life of peace, not a life of war. Voluntarily give your attention to him. Don't make him work for it. Hug him for 30 seconds every day of his life and put your hands on his face. Kiss him on the forehead if he'll allow it. Kiss him on the face, on the cheeks, on the neck. Tell him that you love him with your actions. Got a long way to go, my brother. I'm optimistic for you, man. You got real lucky with who you married. It's time for you to step up and do your part.